You're watching The Secret Ingredient with LASates. I'm Michael Garber, and we're about to get in the cut with Harvey's Guss Meat Company. I am ready to go inside. I'm wearing all of the gear. I've got the hairnet, the meat jacket on, and I'm all gussied up to go inside Harvey's Guss, so come on.
These are the steaks that we're cutting. We cut everything to order. Kansas City steaks, bone-in, 30-day dry age for Peninsula Hotel.
They look frozen to me. Are those frozen now?
No, this is all fresh meat.
Oh, wow.
My dad started the business in 1939 because he went broke in the restaurant business. He went in the meat business because the guy that sold him his produce had a Buick, the guy that sold him his dairy had a Chevy, and the guy that sold him his meat had a Cadillac, so he went in the meat business. At first, the only business he had was filet mignons, going to all the plants and buying the filet mignons, because back in those days, it was not a very popular piece of meat. Everyone wanted a steak with a bone, a T-bone, a porterhouse, a rib steak. And then the war started, and the government said, okay, everyone in the business is in the business. Whatever you're doing now, that's what you're going to be doing. And then all of a sudden, my father had all these fillets, and everyone wanted fillets. Women found out that when they're wearing a beautiful dress and they go to dinner, if they eat a little filet mignon, they're not going to splash themselves. It's easy to cut. They became very popular. I mean, I remember my father trading fillets for veal chops so we could have something to eat besides filet mignon at night. Right. Can you imagine that? Oh no, not filet again.
Right. How does someone learn how to become a butcher?
I learned just by watching the people my father hired.
Was there any order that you ever got that was just so out there that it really took a lot of time and effort to figure out ordering it and bringing it in and learning about the meat?
The biggest, best one I had was when Wolfgang Puck and I went to Cannes in the south of France and did a party for MGM. I had to cut 450 prime New York steaks there. If I screwed them up, there was no way to get any more. I had to use what I had. Wow. That was kind of, you know, exciting. And this is an antique beef splitter.
Wow.
Before they had electric saws, they used to hang the steers up on the rails, one leg on each side to hold them apart. And then they would take that, chop down through it.
See, honestly, that was what I was expecting to see today. I was expecting to see all these, you know, yeah, I have no idea that.
You have to go to Vernon to that. In fact, even the big plants there that used to break beef, they don't anymore. All the big packing houses and slaughterhouses that used to be here in Vernon, they're gone. 95% of the business is out of state now. I mean, the butchers here were getting $19 an hour. Go to Arizona, $6.50. India's too far, but Arizona's close.
Has the process or the technology changed at all in terms of how you
Well, it's greatly improved. All the plants now are really under USDA federal inspection. No longer can we have wooden tables. It has to be plastic, which will not absorb bacteria. And of course, everything is washed and then sanitized before it's used. The pork is never brought out until we've finished with the beef. We have a separate saw for beef and lamb and veal. That one is strictly for pork, that saw and that table. We keep everything separate. These are pork loins, pork chops, pork roasts. He's making a couple of pork roasts here for Campanile. Those are the pork tenderloins that come off. Customers that want the chop, they don't want a T-bone or porterhouse chop. They want what they call the loin chop. It'll look like this, just a nice loin eye. They'll be cut into chops. The customers will take the roast like that. They'll brine them and then roast them off and then cut them and then grill them.
I notice he's got you've got a glove there that looks like a chainmail glove. Is that to protect?
It's just to protect the hand, keep you from cutting yourself.
I take it those are some very, very sharp knives.
You only cut yourself with a dull knife because you got to push hard so it slips, and that's how you cut yourself. You keep your knife sharp. Prime ribeye steaks, chuck roast, lamb shanks. Everything is vacuum packed separately. We cut individual steaks and vacuum pack them. This could stay in here for weeks.
It's amazing.
As long as you keep the temperature. Prime Kansas City steaks, and I do have a knife in my hand, Michael. Are you sure you want? Are you sure you want to do that? Have you seen how sharp this knife is? Especially the serrated part.
That is a knife. I've heard the term dry aging before, and now it's great to see it.
There it is. First thing, it shrinks. And as it's drying, it shrinks, and all the tissues inside break up, which tenderizes naturally the meat, makes it even more tender than it is. And it also intensifies the flavor. You have to really like a dry aged piece of meat to order dry aged. And then when they do, while we bone out, after we cut off a few of the porterhouses, we end up with a smaller piece like this. So we bone this out and make dry aged prime New York.
Do you have a personal relationship with the farm that you get the meat from?
I do have a personal relationship with like IBP, Iowa Beef Packers. Well, we've been in business since 1939, and I've been here since '55, and I buy steady. They love a customer that buys the same thing week after week, year after year, so I get a great supply. This room is my poultry room. What I do is I turn on the refrigeration for Christmas and Thanksgiving. We'll have like 500 turkeys in here for Thanksgiving. We handle the Willie Bird free-range turkey out of Sonoma. Judged the best turkey in America every year. It's just great.
I'll be calling you this year for my
the blowers are off now, so you're lucky. But
oh my God. Look at the ice that's actually formed on these plastic sheets. That's how cold it is in here right now.
We keep everything that's frozen that has to be frozen.
What temperature is it in here?
0.
Ha!
And
That's
when
why
the blowers go on, forget about it.
Look at all this meat. We've got pheasant, ossobuco, veal, wild boar, quail, buffalo patties, pork hearts, lamb hearts, veal cutlets, lamb bones, veal feet, frying chickens. We've got young turkeys. Look at all these turkeys. I can't wait until Thanksgiving. I'm definitely gonna buy a bird from Harvey. I'm not going anywhere else anymore. Woo!
Yes.
What happened to all of the meat? Where did it go? It's 7:30 right now. We got here at 5:45 and they're done. You've just gone on the inside of Harvey's Guss Meat Company. Now, if you're a commercial buyer and you haven't heard of Harvey's Guss, well, you've got to get on the inside track. Harvey really knows what he's talking about, and he sells the best meats in town. And if you're a retail customer and you do want the real deal, well, make sure you bring your wallet and a serious appetite. I'm Michael Garber, and thanks for visiting LASates. I'll see you next time.